Forum 2013. Professor, thank you very much for joining us today. If I may just begin with the issue of ethnic tensions in the capital and what's been happening lately. In terms of, indeed, urban planning, what can be done, in your opinion, to decrease tensions between those mainly Central Asian new communities and ethnic Russians?
I have observed ethnic tensions in various countries, for instance, in England. I compared, for instance, what was going on in the last 30 years in England and in France, which are countries where you have a lot of riots. And usually, first you need a very good savoir-faire from the police. So you cannot send just untrained policemen and repress the conflicts that are going on, because usually what they do, these policemen, is simply they add more tensions to already a difficult situation. Now, my best case, the one I have in mind, and in fact, a student of mine wrote a dissertation about it, was in Brixton, where there were Afghans and Eastern Europeans and Somalians were fighting over the marketplace. They all wanted to sell on the marketplace, and they could not. There was no trust among these groups, and finally one Afghan was stabbed. And the city council decided immediately to find a policeman that would speak Parsi, the language that Afghans could understand, so that they would try to understand from the inside what was going on. And I think that this kind of trust that you establish between authorities, and I mentioned the police, but it could be social workers or people from the outside who get into these communities, you establish bridges. That's one thing. The second thing is that within these communities, usually women and young men, moderate young men, are more easy, they are the easiest to get to, rather than men who are usually trying to work and trying to bring back bread to the family. When I was in Salzburg working on conflict resolutions, we always found that there were paths to be found in new communities through women and through young people.
There are no ghettos, no-go areas here, and if more and more migrants come here, people are worried that they will develop, and that is a worrying trend for a lot of people here. How can the government stop that from actually happening?
I don't think that there should be open borders and that the law should be applied. One thing is to treat very with respect in the camps where these people are going to be put in transit and maybe sent back where they come from if they have no papers. In France, for instance, we have managed to reduce the number of families with children that were sent to retention camps from 300 to 7 this year, because the human rights organizations said that there was no place for women and children in those camps. But let's not be fooled. As long as there are jobs for these illegal migrants, as long as they make all sectors of the economy function, you will have a flux of illegal migrants coming, because they will find employers ready to get them.
If I may continue on that point, Professor, illegal migration, there are lots and lots of complexities to the whole issue, but what advice would you give to the government here, which is clearly struggling with it at the moment?
I am familiar with the American situation, for instance, and with the diversity of the 50 states. I would certainly not advise them to follow the Arizona example, where everybody is checked on the street when they have the face that is not white and that may look Mexican, where you have hate groups, hate groups who fight and shoot on these illegal migrants. This is certainly nothing that could be advocated for. But I really believe in mediations, And again, I think that there are splendid associations and organizations which are transnational, because let's not believe that these people are powerless. They have resources because through the internet and through all the new media of communication, we can understand what's going on when they leave their countries and so on. And maybe the authorities could see where they come from and have a dialogue with the authorities from the places where they come from, in order to have some agreements that it's certain that at a certain point you cannot accept more migrants, or at least you have to disperse them in order so that the local people won't suffer too much.
Professor, get well soon, and thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Very good questions. Bye-bye.
Oh, well done, Yunan. Also, Professor Sophie Body-Gendrot, as well as dozens of other leading urbanists, will be here in Moscow for the Moscow Urban Forum, which kicks off in the Russian capital on the 5th of December. It's going to last until the 7th.